Alrighty, what's going on? I don't really have a plan for this video. I'm just gonna try to just see where it goes. But as you see in the title of this video, a lot's changed for me. I'm in a tricky spot right now, to be honest. And this video is just for, I don't know, I feel like it helps me when I'm trying to figure stuff out, when I don't know, seeing if other people can relate, or just talking about it and posting it out there. It just kind of, I don't know, helps with the anxiety, I guess, a little bit. And maybe it could help someone else too if they're in kind of a similar position as me. I'm 19 years old. I just left the company that I was working for, and I got a lot of shit for it because, first of all, when you leave um, a job, you should normally have another job ready for you. That's the smart thing to do, but I'm not gonna lie, like, I do live at my parents' house still. I'm 19 years old. So I don't have to pay rent. They're not making me pay rent yet. And they're okay with me staying at their house, but my dad was saying, like, you know what, you should already have a job, like, set up, blah, blah, because once you're on your own, you got to learn these valuable lessons, and I understand that, but I think I just need some time to think about where I want to go in life and figure out what I want to, commit my life to, because I was working for this company, and I'm 19 years old. And if I join, so I was joining the union, the electrical union, the local 134, or at least that's what I was trying to join. And I was studying for this test for 6 months, and the test finally came around. And I was thinking, why would I want to just give up, like, the rest of my life, the rest of possible, like, opportunities I have, just for this one thing that I found at 19, which is being an electrician? Because when you join the union, basically what you're doing is saying you're going to work there until you retire, because the union is really big on pensions and all their other benefits, but mainly pensions. So you have like 3 or 4 pensions that you get when you retire. And so most guys, when they go into the union, they're going for the long term to retire there. And I'm 19 years old. Me joining the union, all right, there's two perspectives to this. Some people, it's such a great opportunity for them to join the union at 19. I mean, like the title of this video is, I would be making around 150 grand a year with no college debt by the age of 24. And that opportunity right there is, I mean, nowadays, that's extraordinary. I don't know the word for that, but that's a great, you know what I mean? Like, that's a really good opportunity. Plus all of the health insurance, pensions, everything. It's a really good opportunity. I do understand that. But also, there's another side to it. That's kind of where I'm coming from. I'm 19. I'm young. I have a lot of flexibility in my life. I'm blessed with loving parents that will let me stay at their house if I'm doing something, like if I'm working. They're not making me pay rent right now, but my dad has considered it because I quit my job. And I have no shame against, like, him saying that. I understand, like, he wants me to do something and doesn't want me to turn into a bum. But I'm kind of just figuring, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. I'm finding another way, another route that will be best for me and for what I want to achieve in life. And sometimes it's not hard, or it's not easy for someone else to see that when there's no light down the tunnel. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. For example, like starting a social media, I've always wanted to start a social media, posting YouTube videos about just what I enjoy, the gym, fishing, outdoors, just talking like this. And when you just look at it, just as it is, me posting these videos, you're gonna think like this is nothing, you know? But I see it very differently. I see it in the years down the road when you've posted 200, 300 videos and you have a community and it just all works out. I'm a glass half full type of guy. I look at the positive side and see what it could be, not what it is. Back to quitting my job. I ended up just not, sorry, I'm kind of just ranting and rambling on, but this is just kind of what's been going on with me. But my job, I was doing more driving than I was actual work, which my whole plan was to join the electrical union to get ahead and not pay college debt. I'll be working right out of high school, and I'll be making good money. And then my plan was to take that money that I get from like my first like 5 or 10 years of being in the union and then buying rental properties and other things. And at the end of the day, that's not how it was for me. Most of the guys I've talked to that I worked with, it took them about 2 years to get into the unionship or the apprenticeship. And I was driving a truck basically for my job. And that's what I would be doing for 2 years. Well, all right. I'm not trying to put myself down and say that I couldn't have gotten it on the first try. I could have. But at the end of the day, I'm just being realistic because you have to be realistic when you're talking about your future. You can't just be like, you have to be realistic. And so, realistically speaking, it took all these guys that went to college, had experience, 2 years to get into the apprenticeship. And the job that I was doing minimal learning and work and more driving. And I'm the type of person that cannot sit in a space for long periods of time and I feel like I'm wasting my life away, if that makes sense. Like when I went to college or when I went to community college for 2 weeks or all of high school, I just could not sit there in that classroom and just look at the whiteboard. You know what I mean? I can't sit in a spot for a long period of time and just be happy. It's just not for me. I need to be doing something. I joined this job because I thought I'd be using my hands and working, and that just wasn't the case really. I mean, I was a little bit, I was learning, but not to the extent that I wanted to. And so for those reasons, I just had to leave. And at the end of the day, if it took most of these guys 2 years to get in, I could not do that for 2 years, that job. Each day I drive to Indianapolis or Bloomington, Illinois, same shit. I felt like I was wasting my life away because I'm 19 years old. I was 18 at the time. And I feel like these years are so valuable and you just need to take risks and just not be so committed to one thing for the rest of your life that you don't even enjoy that much. Like a lot of people need to hear this. They start jobs when they're young and then they do that for like 3 years and then they have a family and then they have to pay the bills somehow, so they have no flexibility. They can't find another job and they're just stuck doing this for the rest of their life because they made one decision when they were young. For an example, some of the guys I work with, when I told them that I was leaving, they were making jokes about like, oh, I wish I did that when I was younger, blah, blah. Like, this is bullshit. Even though, they're making good money. They have a family. They have kids. But guess what? They're working for someone else for the rest of their life. Their lives, like, they're just working their life away for someone else's dreams. And at the end of the day, they have no flexibility. They can't change their career path if they wanted to, because they have the pensions, they have their health care, they have a family and kids to feed. And so if they left and tried to do something else, that just wouldn't happen. So they can't do that. So they're stuck doing that for the rest of their life. And that's what I'm scared of. I don't want to make this decision when I'm young and get a job that, yeah, it's comfortable, blah, blah, but I'm giving my life away for someone else's dreams. I'm working my entire life for someone else's dreams and their business. Yeah, you could start your own electrical business, but that's just not something I see myself doing. I'd much rather do something, start a different kind of business. And I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to have my own schedule. I want to be my own boss. And I just don't understand, or I don't know how that's gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna have to do to get there. There's a lot going on in the world nowadays, and it's a lot of things to think about, but I'm just trying to focus on one day at a time and just better myself and create the person that is ready for those opportunities. So when I get an opportunity, I am in the right mindset and health, and I'm just ready to take on an opportunity, and I'm ready for it. Whenever God throws in front of me, I'm gonna take that and run with it. But I'm just waiting for that right now, because I don't know what His plan is for me yet. I'm kind of just, I don't know, creating the person that would be able to take on that journey. And so, sorry, I'm kind of just ranting in this video and rambling, but this is just real shit. This is just what's been going on with me, and I'm sure many other people my age, because there's a lot going on. Either you got your kids in college, you got people going to trades right after high school, you have people just working a job, and there's so much to think about. Right now I'm working on something, I will say that. Like, I didn't quit my job to do jack shit. Like, I am working on something behind the scenes, but at the end of the day, when there's no proof of like anything that it'll work, like, it's kind of like an online business model. I don't really want to go into specifics about it, but, and I'm trying to grow my social media, but that's a separate thing. But when I'm trying to build this thing and there's no proof that it will work, or no like clear path, it's kind of hard. Like, it's hard to get up every day and work on that, and especially I love my parents so much, but when they're like telling me, like, my dad's like, I hope this works, but this is not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, he's just being real with me, and that's what parents are for. But it's hard to work on this when there's a lot of like, not negativity, but like, I mean, kind of, but he's just being real with me, my dad. And I know he just wants the best for me, but I wish he knew that I understood that I'm not going to be a bum, and I will do everything in my power to make this work if he just gives me a chance. But it's kind of like a shot in the dark. Another thing is, I was at a family party the other day, and they're all like asking me, like, what do you do for work, blah, 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 or how's work? Sorry. They were asking how's work. And it's just kind of awkward to say, I quit my job. They're like, oh, what's your new job, blah, blah. Oh, I don't have one. They're like thinking I'm just like an idiot or something. And I can't explain to them what ambitions and like visions I have, because nobody understands. They think it's stupid, or they think it won't work. But At the end of the day, I believe all that matters is that I understand and that I have the vision. And I know if I work hard enough, it'll become a reality. And another thing is, my schedule is so messed up. Like, no hate to my company. They were like great company and everything. And I have a lot of respect for everyone there. They're really great to me, but my schedule is so screwed. Like, they could tell me to be there at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 2 a.m., and then I could leave from anywhere to 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. It was random every single day, and I'm a very schedule-oriented person. And at the end of the day, if my health is being messed up and I am getting terrible sleep and I can't go to the gym some days because of work, and I have no other life besides work for this company and give my life away for $18 an hour, it wasn't worth it in the end, you know? I'm a very schedule oriented person, and when I can't make a schedule, when I don't have a certain time to get to work, a certain time to get home, that just wasn't wasn't realistic for me. And that made me want to also be an entrepreneur because I want my own schedule. I want that flexibility. And I will work my ass off to get there. I just am waiting. I'm just trying to figure out what it is that'll get me there. All right, sum up this whole rant and everything. At the end of the day, I just think that it's not worth it to, I don't know, just settle down at 19 years old or 18 years old and just make a decision that you're going to do this for the rest of your life and that's it. And I feel like you should explore your options first and take risks before you make a decision that will impact the rest of your life and possibly make you miserable for the rest of your life. Because who wants to be miserable for the rest of their life? Not me. I have a future in my mind, and and I manifest it, and I have a vision, and I want to make that vision come to life. And sometimes you just got to make choices, hard choices in life, to make that vision come to life. And this was one of them. Leaving this job with no true thing in sight, you know. But I just put all the faith in God and just hope He guides me in the right direction, which I know He will. And that's all I can really do at the end of the day. But if I had a message for one of you guys out there, and this video, I don't know, it doesn't even like, I don't care if like 2 people see this. It just helps me to, I don't know, express kind of what I'm going through and this situation that I'm in, because I feel like, I don't know if anyone can relate to it or not, because I feel like it's kind of a unique situation maybe, but maybe, you know, a bunch of people can, and I hope this touches a lot of those people and they could relate and they'll comment on this video and tell me where they're at in life. But I'm kind of being vulnerable, like just talking about all this on here, because normally I'm kind of, I don't know, I don't like doing that, but I hope this was interesting for you guys, and if you have any suggestions for me or anything to say, just leave it in the comments, and hope you guys all have a blessed day, and see you guys next time. Peace.